Hello everyone! It's always a party at Patchworks. Let's get this party started. Woot woot! Hi everyone, this is Julie from Patchworks and I am so excited to have you here for another session of our Aurifil Color Builders. Today we are traveling Italy and we are going to Sicily. How exciting is that? We are going to be touring the lemon groves. Let's see what this box has in store for us today. You step out onto the terrace, balancing a tray of cannoli in one hand and a carafe of coffee in the other. Breakfast is al fresco, overlooking the faint silhouette of Greek temple ruins in the distance. The scent of citrus lingers in the air, a delightfully subtle reminder of the lemon trees below. Cotton 50 weight, 21.05, 21.15, and 11.35. What amazing yellow threads that we have today. So bright, so cheery, just like the sun that popped out just a little bit today. So one of the things that I love about yellow is that we just have a little pop of it. A little pop brings us so much energy and vibrancy. A lot of times we don't see entire quilts made out of yellow, although that would be a bold choice. Just like in the foods that we have, right? So in foods with like lemon, a lot of times lemon is just an accent. Like I love having lemon in my water, just a little slice of lemon in my water. For fish or shrimp, maybe we squirt a little bit of lemon juice on that. A lot of times lemon just adds that extra burst of freshness and flavor. And that's what we get with yellow thread and yellow fabric. Let's just take a look at maybe some yellows that we have. So here, this is a really bold fabric, and this is like the lemons that we're pretending that we're sitting in our lemon trees so we can enjoy some beautiful bold lemons on some fabric. There's a hint of lemon, a buttery yellow, as an accent here on this beautiful traditional floral. These sunflowers and also some of our bumblebee and other pollinator fabrics have a little bit more bold yellow that we can add, which are great accents for kitchens, in our decorating. We have a whimsical yellow that you can see in the pops of color from this new Kim Schafer line, the Coupe for Andover Fabrics. Really fun, whimsical, bright. And then yellow can also be strong and bold, like superheroes. So you can see here Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, just bold punch, pow. Big, bold power, big color. Today, what we're going to be doing is that we are going to be sharing just a little bit more, a bolder look. We're going to be visiting with the Aurifil Designer of the Month, visiting through the interview on the blog and with her pattern. So the place that I get all of my information for this is from Auribuzz, AURIBUZZ.com. On that website, that is an Aurifil sponsored website, they have a section dedicated to the Designers of the Month. So every month, with each of these different color builder boxes, a designer shares a technique, has some inspiration. We get to find out a little bit more about them and have a little bit fun. So the designer of the month is Kate Toney of Tough Kitten Crafts, and we found out that she lives in Florida, and so citrus was a perfect choice for her to be able to play with her block selection, which is a lemon burst. So her block is called Limone Block. That reminds me kind of like limoncello. Have you ever had that cordial? It is a wonderful cordial, and if you've never tried it and you like a little bit of after dinner cordial, I encourage you to try it. Try it over ice. It's very fun. Okay, So let's look and see what our Aurifil package has in store for us, as well as what the block looks like. Our block here is a beautiful applique block that features a lemon wedge. So yummy and bright. We decided for our sampler blocks, because all of these 12-inch finish blocks are going together into an Aurifil sampler, that we would frame it out with a little bit of bold yellow so that we could give it a little bit more punch of color and be a larger scale with what we are working with in the rest of the sampler. If you wanted to finish it out like a pillow, you could simply add more borders and add a bold choice like this lemon print. The box included these 3 spools as we were talking about, and this month we are going to be using the 3 different colors for our applique. And our Patchworks Aurifil Club members do receive 3 beautiful solids that they can go ahead and make their quilt block with and have a little bit extra fabric to play and do something else with. We went ahead and downloaded this block, and we are going to share with you the traditional applique instructions. Kate is a machine embroiderer, and so she has download embroidery files for you. So if you do a lot of machine embroidery, she has some files for you. How fun is that? She also has tips and tricks on how to do machine embroidery with your machine. She uses a Bernina, and you know what? She uses Aurifil cotton thread for all of her embroidery. I just love that. And a lot of times we're afraid of using cotton thread there and go to the polyester, but she shows just how versatile the cotton thread is. It has a beautiful sheen, and it just works really, really well. She has great instructions here, and here you can see that she has the applique pattern for our block. Now, a lemon wedge can go either direction because it's not really directional, but we wanted our block to look just like her block, and so we went ahead and we reversed the pattern. So when you are working with applique, if you're using fusible web applique, which is where you put that sticky stuff on the back side, you want to make sure to trace your stuff on the other side so that your fabric stickers are oriented the way that you like. So we went ahead and we traced, actually I think we just heated this. So this is printed on a color printer, and the color printer has wax ink, and so when we give it a little bit of heat, it transfers that wax to the back side. So it automatically transferred that ink to the back side. That's a super exciting trick. You do need to make sure that you protect your iron and your ironing board so that you don't transfer ink inadvertently all over the place, but that is a really super easy way to reverse your pattern. When we trace it, we want to make sure to trace by group. Okay, so I did a very rough trace here, and I made sure to have my I failed to put all 4 of my lemon wedges there. I must have been in a little bit of a rush here. And so this section here is going to be cut for one section. Then I have my little squirt drops there. And then I have the rind. Now you can see I separated them out. They're going to go onto 3 different pieces of fabric. So here is one that is already cut out. If you had wanted to, you can be a little bit more efficient and not waste that much fabric, where you trim off a little bit of this excess fusible web adhesive. Okay, You want to make sure that there is a little bit extra around because we're only going to be cutting on the lines after it's fused to the back side of our fabric. Okay, so I'm going to be using the dark for the rind, the light for the juice, and the medium for my citrus wedges. I went ahead and fused that so that you didn't have to watch me iron. You want to make sure that you follow the manufacturer's instructions. And I was practicing cutting things out, and so I already cut one out from each of them. I have two different ones here. I have one that I used a product called Wonder Under, and Wonder Under is a fusible web adhesive that has paper release on one side and a sandpapery kind of feel on the other side, and this side is my fusible side. I would trace on my waxy side. And then I have another product called Steam-A-Seam. This is light Steam-A-Seam, and that adhesive is couched between two pieces of release. I can trace on the side with my graph paper. I would pull off the one side of release to press it on, and then press, and then cut everything out. I'll show you all a little bit more about that later, okay? So I'm going to cut out, and when I cut out, I want to let the scissors do the work for me, okay? So we're going to cut this guy right here, and I'm going to come in, and I like to use the V of my scissors here, okay? Now notice I'm moving the fabric and not my scissors. This is going to give me the smoothest cut as I cut around. Just like that. Now, when we are releasing the paper, right, because we want to stick to something, the paper from the fabric, you peel it off. If you're having a little bit of a trouble peeling it, you can go back and forth like that in order to get it to come off. Or sometimes I score the edge of it with a sharp, like a pin, to have it come off. Now I have two different ones. This one here is the Wonder Under. And with the Wonder Under, it is still smooth on the other side. You can feel that there's a little bit of something there, and the glue is going to activate with heat. On our other piece here, our Steam-A-Seam, which is this one, it has a sticky property when I take the paper off. So you can see here it sticks, it has a light tack to the back of my finger. The benefit of this is as I'm positioning it, it stays in place until I set it permanently with the heat. So that can be very helpful with a complex applique. I prefer, given the two, I do prefer the light Steam-A-Seam, but the Wonder Under is a wonderful product that can achieve beautiful fusible results as well. In order to make everything, now I don't have all of the shapes cut out, but we can use the wedges that I have. We're going to use this base as our placement guide. So I can take my square of background, and I am going to, it's an oversized piece, I'm going to fold it and fold it. So I folded it in quarters. I'm going to give it a light thumbnail press there so that I can find my center, so that I can position in an approximate way where I want my block to be centered. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see the printing behind there. If you're having problems seeing it, you can use a light box. And then you go ahead and you position the wedges where they should go. If you're using something like Steam-A-Seam that has that light tack, you can go ahead and put all the wedges the rind and all of the top pieces all in place, and then go ahead and press. After you have everything positioned, I would recommend taking your placement sheet out so that you don't transfer ink to the backside of your block, especially if you're using white fabric. So after you have all of your fabrics in place, now it's time for some stitching fun. We used the colorful threads from our box this time, and we went ahead and followed Kate's lead and used the triple blanket stitch. I don't know if you can see that very well there. She gives instructions on how to do that triple blanket stitch for the Bernina. And we use the Eversewn here. And so if you happen to use the Eversewn, the triple blanket stitch is stitch 57 with the 2.5 length and a 3-point width. You'll want to make sure to use an open toe so that you don't hit the foot and you can see your stitching. Before we start stitching, what I do like to do is I do put a layer of stabilizer on the back side. Now I already removed the stabilizer. You can see here that there's a little bit left over. The stabilizer helps so that the machine doesn't eat your fabric, and then after you're done you can take it away if it's a tearaway or cutaway, or some of them are washaways. The one that we carry here is a tearaway. So we use the 3 different colors of thread for our block. So we use the light, the medium, and the dark to take advantage of all 3 because we were just so excited about our citrusy Sicily yellow threads. To finish off our block, we trimmed our lemon wedge center to 9 inches, and then we framed it with 4 beautiful medium yellow strips that measured 2 1/4 each. The block will measure 12.5 inches to finish 12 inside of our sampler. So that was really fun. We had the ability to play with all of our threads from our Sicily yellow and use our fabrics. So we had our threads and our fabrics. You can add some white in there if you'd like, or you could choose something more colorful. All very fun. If you are not a member of our Aurifil Club, you are able to join by the month, by the quarter, or by the year. We still have October, November, and December to go. And remember, all Aurifil Club members do save 20% on Aurifil thread every single day. How awesome is that? I have some other fun things that I'd like to share with you since you're watching today. And the first thing I'd like to talk about is this beautiful quilt that I have behind me. So this beautiful quilt that I have has just a little bit of yellow here. You can see that, as I said, yellow can be such a beautiful accent, and we have just a touch of it. So this Cultivate Kindness quilt comes in this beautiful panel, or this box kit. Box kit is $99.99, so that's an excellent price. And it is super beautiful, very springy or fall, just gorgeous, happy quilt. Very, very fun. So that is just fun that it coordinates with our discussion of yellow in quilts today. The other thing I want to talk to you today about is the Stitch Pink Sampler, which is starting tomorrow. So the Stitch Pink Sampler is a program by Moda Fabrics, and we have put together some really fun quilts. Not quilts, some fabric packs here. Their fabric pack is all grunge, going from pale pink all the way to a deep red. And if you want to make it just like the official Stitch Pink Sampler quilt along, they used white paper grunge. Their program is the second year that Moda is stitching pink. They created Stitch Pink because they wanted to be part of the campaign for increased awareness for breast cancer. The sampler quilt is 1 block each day of the month of October, so in total 30 blocks with the final assembly on Saturday, October 31st. That's 30 12-inch blocks. The quilt is going to finish 64 by 76. And we have a picture of the quilt so that you can see all the fun things. Now, let's just say pink isn't your thing and you want to collect all of the patterns. You want to make the quilt in different colors. Can you do that? Absolutely. Feel free to collect the patterns. You can make a quilt of all the 30 different blocks. If you wanted to have a quilt with just one of the blocks, feel free to do that as well. You can use your scraps. You can make a Halloween quilt. You can make a Christmas quilt, whatever your heart desires. I just am super excited that we have these really fun resources to be able to do something exciting and inspiring at this time. Moda will be having some quilt-alongs to go along with this. And where do the patterns come from? Well, starting tomorrow, there's going to be 1 block released a day. You can pick up a paper copy and shop, or what you can do is you can find on the Stitch Pink link on the Moda website, which we'll also have on our social media, where you can sign up to get a pattern delivered to your email box every single day. Super, super exciting. So I would like to thank you for joining us today and participating in the tour of Italy. We have our Sicily yellow boxes and fabric packs available in store for you, or we can ship them out. Thank you for joining us. Happy quilting, and we'll see you soon.